begin indeed. Hello people, Sue Jerry speaking. Welcome to TheCrazyBunch's WebShow number 120. Today we're doing not one, not two, but 4 dev topics today. So let's do it now, shall we? So we got for us. His name is Jerry Adler. Born that name, he was an American actor who is perhaps best known for his films Manhattan Murder, Mystery, The Public Eye, In Her Shoes, and Prime. And his television work as Herman Hesh Rapskin, Survivors pronounced it, sorry. Howard Lemon and the Good Life, something like that. And The Good Fight, something like that. Anyway, Bill Maintains Man and Mr. Wicker, and on Mad About You, Bob Saget's father, Sam Schubert on Raising Dad, Fire Chief Sidney Fairberg on Rescue Me, Moscow Spicer Man on Transparent, so Horowitz and on Broad Sea, and Horowitz Living Yourself with Paul Rudd. Born in Brooklyn, New York, when he was raised on February 4th, 1929, into a famed Adler family, who emerged from growing up now Ukraine, something like that. He was the son of Philip Adler in 1905 to 1990, and Polly Goldberg, 1906 to 2000, who buried in 1926. Wow. His father was a theater manager with dozens of Broadway and television shows in the 30s to 1960s. He was general manager of the group Theater Collective in New York and managed production for Herman Levin and Alexander H. Cohen. His great uncle was Yiddish theater actor Jacob Valish Adler, whose children Stella and Hoover Adler, something like that, anyway, were his cousins, something like that, anyway. He was raised in the Yiddish-speaking Irish Jewish household. He attended Samuel J. Tully High School, where he was president of the Dramatic Club, and Syracuse University. Influenced by his family, Adler began his theater career as a stage manager in 1950s, something like that. Anyways, we're working on such productions in the RV I Sing, and My Fair Lady, something like that, before becoming a production supervisor and for The Apple Tree, Bright Lit Comedy White Lies, Dr. Dearwolf, something like that, at Coco, 6 RMs, Rare Views, something like that, Andy, and I Remember Mama, among others. He made his directing debut in the 1974 Semi-Con review, More to Music, and also directed the 1976 revival of My Fair Lady. Wow. Was director of the Dharma Death Award nomination. And the ill-famed 1981 musical, Little Prince and the Avatar. He also directed the 1976 play, Check It Out. Other credits included Drat the Cat, the 1976 revival of Helzabion, starring Jerry Lewis, Awful Terrible Man. And Richard Rogers' final musical, I Remember Mama. Anyway, in addition to theater productions, he also worked on television. Adler's first television acting role was in 1991 in television series Broken Bridge. The following year, he also appeared in film called The Public Eye. He began to receive several acting roles, including a role in the television series Northern Exposure as Alan Shulman, Joel Fishman's Old Neighborhood Rabbi scene in Visions. David Chase, who worked as a screenwriter on the series, later created the drama series, The Shortbreads, in which he asked Adler to play Herman H. Robsky, associated with the Dumas crime family. Adler played the role from 1999 to 2007, and perhaps best known for it, he was also known for his role as Royal Adler Lemon, which is a good one, above The Good Wife and spin-off series The Good Fight. He also played Mr. Wicker on Mad About You, Bob Saget's father, Sam Schubert in Raising Dad, and later Al Sasher on Hudson Street, anyway. In addition, Adler appeared in the episode West Wing as Toby Sigurd's father, Joel Ziegler. He also appeared in the new Chief Sidney Finberg in the 4th season of FX Fire drama Rescue Me. He guest starred in Eddie's Father Al in season 3 and season 4 of Till Death. From 2017 to 2019, Al played Marshy Fireman anyway. And the father of Jeffrey Traber's character on the Amazon series Transparent. In 2019, he portrayed Saul Houseworth on Broad City. And Hillstorm on Living With Yourself with Paul Rudd. Anyway. His film screen credits include Manhattan Murder Mystery, Her Shoes, and Prime. In 2014, he starred as Joseph Mills-Shaw with that in the most violent year opposite Jessica Chasman. Now Oscar Isaac. He first appeared in stage in 2000. He also acted in Larry David's Broadway play Fish in the Dark. 2024, Alex published a memoir titled Too Funny for Words. Anyway, backstage tales for Broadway, television, and the movies. He died in his home in New York City on August 23rd, 2025. He was 96 years old. The next dev topic has to do with Brett Hines. Born William Brett Hines, he was an American musician, lead guitarist in the Atlanta heavy metal band Mastodon. He shared guitar duties with Bill Castor and vocal duties with Troy Sanders and Brian Davis, my dad. In the band, Hines was also the lead guitarist singer for the Strawberry Band, Fiend Without a Face, and it was involved in my other projects, including classic guitar, classic rock bands, including the Blood Vessels, West End Motel, 4 Hour Fogger, The Last of the Blue-Eyed Devils, Giraffe Talk Orchestra, and Legend of the Seagull Man. Born January 16, 1974, he attended the Alabama School of Fine Arts, a statewide public manager middle of and high school in Birmingham, Alabama. Wow, okay. Hines moved to Atlanta and pursued a music career when he met Troy Sanders, a future member of Mastodon. According to Sanders, he lived in this band for the next 5 years, becoming a member of Sanders' then band 4 Hour Fogger. The first project he attended with the band, he legally show up so late he couldn't even play. Once 4 Hour Fogger fell apart, the two stuck together. Eventually, me and Brian Dollar and Bill Collier at the Hyatt on a Fire concert in their friend's basement. The four began his new musical venue with Eric Satter, who was a singer at the time, touring the southern United States, working 40 hours weeks, playing the bands in the spare time. The band's mainstream success ensured that Satter left the band, pushing Hines in the forefront, not just a guitarist, but also a vocalist. Sanders shared duties in the singer. Wow, okay. But with Mastodon, Hines composed a score to Jonah Hex, a 2010 film. In June 2011, Hines' project Fiends Without a Face and West End Motel released a split double CD, the solo album. In 2012, Hines formed a supergroup Giraffe Talk Orchestra. Fellow guitarist Brandon Weitzman, Dillinger Escape Plan fame, James Addison, former bassist Eric Avery, and Mars Wood, former drummer Thomas Prinkman. Something like that. Hines began working with anyway, move on. With Cygrager's rock supergroup, Legend of the Seagull Man, along with Dave Curry of Tool and others. Their album's debut album was released in February 2018 with Die Records. Mastodon announced Hines' departure by Motel decision in March 2025. However, August 2025, before his death, Hines publicly disputed the account, saying that he had been kicked out of the band of what he described as mashing down. August 20th, 2025, he passed away in a tragic condition while riding a motorcycle at Atlanta. He was 51 years old. According to what local authorities, the collision occurred when the driver of the SUV failed to yield at the intersection, striking his motorcycle. Wow. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Brian Hines was 51 years old. The next step topic has to do with Michael Andrews, pronounced anyway. Born Michael Toad Andrews, he was an American saxophonist. He's most known to play the tenor saxophone with John Jeffrey and the Beaver Brown Band for his acting role in the saxophonist in the 1983 movie and the Closers in the sequel A Closers 2, A Lives. Born in 1940, August 10th, he was best known as a second-generation American, the Cape of Very Harriet, who was born in a musical family in New Bedford, Massachusetts. His father, Peter Arnos, was playing bass, guitar, and organ, performed throughout New England. He also began performing at the age of 13 while still attending Dormont High School. Most of his early shows were playing Cape Breton music with his guitarist, brother David, and a cousin in the band called Second Generation. Throughout the 1960s, Anno performed in New England and upstate New York in the saxophone player in the Blazers, Burley Carpenters, and New Spices, New Magagina, and Triumph. With the Blazers, he recorded the songs Grasshopper with Mono Records, number 864, and A-Time, number 2002. A remake of the Real Louis Armstrong song Boom Boom, number 2001 on Empire Records. Mainstream success. In the 70s, Anatones joined John Travolta and the Beaver Brown Band, which is an American rock band from Rhode Island. The band soundtrack album for the movie and the Closers with that reached the top 10 of the Billboard 200 charts, produced a number 7 hit single on the dark side of the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Aldridge performed the movies in the band's saxophone player, and also the movie sequel. In 2016, Wilson ranked the official A in the Closures number 18 in the list of 25 greatest movie bands. On the dark side, held number 1 in the album box tracks charts for 5 weeks. The album was eventually certified as triple platinum by the RIAA, or Records Industry Association America for short. Recording Industry Association America for short. Anyway, in addition to playing the John Jeffrey the Beaver Brown Band from 2004 to 2011, Aldridge played with the Ernie and the Mags, Bruce band that included the 4 members of Boston, the J. Charles Band, and Peter Wolf's Band. He has 11 children with his wife Jennifer. Children will involved in the music industry, such as Kevin, the musical director for Mendoza, and Matthew, the musical director of Choppers. He died of kidney failure August 19, 2025. He was 85 years old. And the last step topic has to do with Terrence Stamp. Born Terrence Henry Stamp, he was an English actor, known for so many villain roles. He received various accolades, including a Golden Globe Award, a Cannes Film Festival Award, as well as nominations for the Academy Award and 2 BAFTA Awards, BAFTA Awards. Anyway, it was named by Empire as one of the 100, I'm not saying the S word, sorry, film stars of all time in the year I was born in 95. Anyway, she trained from Weber, Douglas, Academy of Dramatic Art in London. Before acting in Wolf, they call with some of that production of This Year, Next Year, 1960, as the West End's vaudeville theater. He made his American film debut playing the title role of the adventure film Billy Bob in 1962, which earned him the Golden Globe Award, and as well as a nomination for the Academy Award and the BAFTA Award. He starred in the psychologist horror film The Collector in 1965, which he won the Cannes Film Festival Award for Best Actor. He then starred in films such as My Dusty Blaze in 1966, Far from the Madding Crowd in 1967, Poor Cow in the same year, Tomato in 1968, Spirits in the Dead in the same year, and Minds of Mr. Thomas in 1969. He gained water for this world arch-villain General Zod in superhero films Superman 1968, Superman 2 1988. For his leading role in the Australian role comedy The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Resort in the Desert in 1994. Anyway, he earned BAFTA Award and Golden Globe Award nominations. He then starred in The Levy in 1999, earned an Independent Spirit Award nomination. He also had films such as Wall Street 1987, Young Gods 1988, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace in 1999, Haunted Mansion 2003, which I saw in theaters by the way, Eureka in 2005, One in 2008, Get Smart in the same year, Yes Man in the same year 2008, anyway, Eureka in the same year 2008, anyway, songs from Marion anyway, in 2012, and Big Eyes 2014. His last role performance in Last Night in Charlotte in 2021. He was eldest of 5 children, born July 22nd, 1948, in Surrey, London, England. Son of Ethel Esther Nee Parrott, 1914 to 1985, Thomas Stamp, 1913-1982. He was a tugboat stoker. Wow, okay. 30 years spent in the Chicago Road, Bow, in the East End, but later the childhood in the family moved to 124 Chatcowan Road, Pastel West Ham, Essex, now in the Greater London. Okay. We attended Pastel County Grammar School. His family follows away with long periods of when the Master's Navy, and the young Stamp was mostly raised by his mother, grandmother, and aunts. He grew up the Oswald actor Gary Cooper, and after his mother took him to see Bull Begasly in 1949, when he was 3 years old. Wow. He was also inspired by the 50s martial training actor James Dean. Wow. Grew up in London during World War II. Stamp endorsed the Blitz as a child. Wow. He later added, anyway, Valkyrie director, blind singer, and staged in the scene when the von Rosenbergs hid from the alley bombings. After leaving school, Stamp worked at a variety of advertising agencies in London, working his way up to earn a reasonable salary. In the mid-50s, he also worked as an assistant to professional golfer Greg Knight as Wednesday Golf Club in East London. He described the period of the life possibly in this autobiography Stamp album. Wow, okay. Okay. His career began with this in 1960 to 1967. Earned his career in Rise of Fame. Stamp won a scholarship to train the Weber Douglas Academy of Dramatic Arts, like that. They performed in various visual reportedly theaters, like that. Anyway, most known in the national tour, Willis Horace Halsman, like that. Plays The Wall and the Short and the Tall, alongside other young Cockney actor Michael Caine. Caine moved in with the Stamp when they began spending time with Peter O'Toole in the London party scene. In 1962, Stamp made his British film debut opposite Robert Lawrence Oliver in Torment Trail, but he better remarked in his next role in Peter Russell film adaptation and Herman Melville's Billy Budd in 1982, when he was dropping at American before trial. His brutality, the title character was Budd, brought him not only as American Academy Award-winning nomination, but it's also international attention. Stamper was called the Master of Born Silence by The Guardian. In the mid-60s, Stamper collaborated with some of the area's most remarkable reserved filmmakers. He starred in the collector 1965, William Weiser adaptation of John Rawls' novel of the same name, opposite Samantha Eggar, and Bowie, obviously Blaze, 1966, for director Joseph Grausi and producer Joe Ganzi. Anyway. Stamper reviewed with producer Gandy for two more projects. John Zwanger's adaptation of Thomas Hardy's Far from the Bang Crowd, 1967, starring Julie Christie and Ken Lodge's first feature film, Poor Cow, in the same year. Anyways, Stamper was approached with the plays for roles of James Bond when Sean Connery retired from the role, and we did not receive a second call from producer Harry Saltzman because, in Stamper's opinion, my ideas about how the role should be portrayed, but the findings of Harry, I did not get a second call from him. Wow. Stamper traveled to Italy and starred in Frank Ferrari's Tony Dammit, a 50-minute portion of the Edgar Allan Poe's film adaptation, Historic Ordinaries, 1968, aka Spirits of the Dead. Okay? Okay, that's how I speak French here. Sorry, I don't speak French. But anyway. Stamper lived in Italy for several years. It's Italian. I don't speak Italian. Anyway. During which time he was film work because Peter Paolo Pascio, Pazzoli's pronounced it, Torari in the same year, opposite, Solari's Mamago, and Seas of Hell, 1971, Stamper to serve the title of Alfie in 1996, but turned down in favor of Madalsi plays the same year. Stamper's great film credits include Mr. Zombies in 1970, which he played Effeminate Patient, and The Divine Myth in 1975. 1978-1999, Superman film number roles. It was Stamper transported Superman arch nemesis into the supervillain. The transplant demand Neo before Zod. It was marketed as one of the most iconic moments in comic book film history. Terrence Stamp 5 moments said, and 5 moments less moments. Number 1, Superman 2, article published in The Guardian in February 2013. Stamp portrayed the coalition supervillain Gerald Zod and Richard Donner's Superman 1978, appearing in the scene for Marlon Brando. The film was also, in the first sequel, was originally considered as one film, with Zod and Zemo considered competitors from that, returned later in this film to challenge Superman. But the screenplay was so long that the producers elected to split into 2 parts. Both parts began shooting eventually from that, but the rest of the sequel was hauled part way due to the budget and time constraints. Stamper appeared as Joe Zod in Superman 2 1980 as the film's primary villain. Donner was replaced as director in the sequel with Richard Lester, who completed the film into portions of Donner's original footage combined with newly filmed scenes. Total Film magazine ranked Stamp's partial and Joe Zod number 32 in the top 50 greatest villains of all time, list 2007. Okay? On the occasion of Superman's 50th anniversary in 1988, Stamp introduced a BBC radio and special Superman on Trial. It was produced by Dirk Maggs and starred Stuart Milligan as Superman. Wow. In 2003, Stamp returned the Superman franchise new role by portraying the voice of Clark Kent's biological father, Jor-El, in the WBCW television series Smallville. He also provided the screams of Zod being exhorted with the body of Lex Luthor in the 6th season premiere of the episode Zod. In 2006, he appeared as Zod once again in Superman 2 original Donner cut, a retold version of the 1980 film which featured footage shot by Donner. Anyways, the film's original director at the time. He also had meetings with Remarkable Man in 1979, The Hit in 1984, which won Miss Best award for Best Actor, shared with John Hurt and Tim Roth. Anyways, also in the same year, 1984, he also registered to play the Devil in the cameo in the Company of Wolves. He also appeared in Link in 1986, Legal Eagles in the same year, Segregation in 1987, and the cameo in Sir Larry Wildman in Wall Street in 1987, same year. Anyway, he also played the ranch owner John Dursall in Young Guns in 1988. His film Bought 10 Bros in 1992, aka Prince of Shells, was premiered at the 42nd Berlin International Film Festival. Stamp began his 4th decade as an actor, wearing some of the choices of Tim Koshall's acting Academy Award winning costume for the comedy Adventure Priscilla, Queen of Dust in 1994, who co-starred Guy Pearce and featured Rex actor who portrayed Babe the Sheep Pig, Hugo Weaving, who's best known as Rex in Babe. He's also voicing the following with his star Sammy, I don't remember, but anyway, in 100% Wolf. But anyway, but I'll have to explain that later about Hugo's in another time. But anyway, in 1999, Sam played the role in The Ramsey, who the widespread critical acclaim in the Cannes Film Festival. For his performance, Stamp received nomination for Best Male Lead in the 2000 Independent Spirit Award, the Best Spirit Actor of the London Film Critics Circle ALS for short awards. Also in the same year, 1999, Stamp appeared in the blockbuster Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace as Quest Chancellor Phineas Barham, experience he later described as boring. Wow. I don't know, but it's not boring to me in my opinion. Sorry, followed by Goldfinger in 1999 and Red Planet 2000. He also appeared in Damien Bergwell's award-winning documentary Family I'm a Born Liar in 2002. He offering ideas of mine and working methods and talented director Frederick Fawley, who won Strop and have worked in the 60s. 2000 to 2021, Ray works in 5 roles. In later years, Stamp appeared in films such as Me, Ma, Fema, as the other actress. Anyway, My Wife is an Actress in 2001. My Boss Daughter in 2003. Disney's Haunted Mansion the same year. And superhero fantasy Eureka in 2005. He also made a cameo appearance for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but his performance was cut from the movie, unfortunately. Stamp read the book Perfect Brilliant Stillness by David Carr, but still sound books. In the Dodgery read, Stamp described his love with the book by saying, "Great love, hate, no man." Anyways, Stamp appeared in the music video at the Bomb and Heavy Fate by Bright Eyes. Stamp also appeared in the featured Castaway on BBC's radio's Long Run Desert Islands desk in June '87. He made a second appearance in March 2006 with a different selection of music. In 2002, Stamp provided a narration of history of football, The Beautiful Game, which a series that all aspects of the most popular sport. Stamp appeared attended every England game, including the final, in the 1966 FIFA World Cup. And in July 2016, he narrated 1966 the nation remembers show on ITV. Marked the 50th anniversary of England's World Cup victory. On July 7, 2007, Stamp gave a speech on climate exchange, the British leg of live in Wembley Stadium, before introducing Madonna. Anyway, his memoir, The Ocean Fell in the Drop, was published by Repeaters Books in 2017. Anyway, Stamp also narrated the BBC's The Story of Only Folks and Horses in 2017. In 2008, something like that, he appeared in the film but remake of the spy comedy Jet Smart. Another comedy about the man who says yes to everything. Yes Man opposite Jim Carrey, who loved this comedian to death, with Angela Jolie, James McAvoy, Morgan Freeman, and Wanted. Anyway, and with Tom Cruise and Valkyrie, something like that, based on the true story of Colonel Klaus von Augsburg's failed attempt to assassinate Adolf Hitler. Wow. In 2010, Stamp appeared in the Adjustment Bureau 2011. Wow. And American romantic science fiction thriller film, loosely based on the Philip K. Dick short story, Adjustment Team, opposite Matt Damon, something like that. In 2012, Stamp appeared on Phoneless directed music video for the Chip song Night and Day. Portrayed a grumpy husband called Arthur in Paul Andrews Williams' Song of Marion in 2012. Same year. But anyway, and opposite Gemma Armistead, something like that. And the highest comedy, Noir and Steel in 2015, with Kurt Russell, Matt Dillon, and Jay Burchell, something like that. In 2014, Stamp appeared in Tim Burton's dramatic film Big Eyes with Amy Adams and Christopher Waltz. In 2016, Stamp appeared in another Tim Burton film, Miss Prodigy's Home for Perishable Children, where he played Abe, the grandfather of film's protagonist, Jake. Wow. He also voice acting roles including the video game The Errors Scrolls, the 4 Abominations, something like that. We voiced the villainous cult leader Magger Coleman. The film Zombie Island Those Foolish Things. Stamp voiced the protagonist of Troop in Hall of Free, replacing Michael Woodcock. In 2005, Stamp also narrated the BBC 4 documentary Jazz Bertera, something like that, which chronicles the evolution of British jazz music. His next project, Cooking House in 2017, directed by Giles something like that, starring Lucia Hendricks, Gillian Anderson, and Glenn Close, who's back then portrayed Cruella de Vil in the 101 Dalmatians live action film. So anyway, he also appeared in George Merrick's Beer Harvest, opposite Max Irons, Samantha Barks, Barry Pepper, and finally Aaron Barr, and something like that. He also, in addition to his acting career, Stamp was a Dalmatian writer and author. Something like that. He published 3 volumes in his memoirs, including Stamp Album, which attributed to his late mother. A novel entitled The Night, and the cookbook collaborated with Elizabeth Buxton to provide augmented recipes to those who wore wheat and mild odorants from that. Stamp's final performance was in Last Night's Show in 2021. His personal life. Here we go. Associated with the swinging London scene in the 1960s, during which his time he was in high profile relationships with actress Julie Christie and supermodel Jane Shrimpson, from that, something like that. Anyway, Stamp was among the subjects of a draft by David Bailey for the subtitled Box of Pen-Ups. In the 60s, Stamp starred Hot House with actor Michael Caine in Wimpole Street, London, before during the rise to the fame. His autobiography was all about 1992. Caine stated that I still wake up sweating in the night. I see Terrence agree to accept my advice to tape the role of Alfie. Anyways, he also received extended media coverage of Romance 1960 with actress Julie Christie and supermodel Jean Schwarzman for that. He has been one of the most photographed couples in modern London. After serving in a relationship with Stan, he moved to India to spend time with Ashran of course, novices for that. On New Year's Eve 2002, Stan married the first and only time in the age of 64. Wow. His 29-year-old bride was Elizabeth Rourke, who Stan first met in the mid-1990s. Wow. And she was shot at Bali, New South Wales, of Irish, Australian, and Indian Singaporean parentage. Rourke was raised in Singapore before moving to Australia in the early 20s, and to study for graduate from that. The couple were divorced on the grounds on his unreasonable behavior in April 2008. Wow. Interest, okay? I'll get to his stuff because relationships is ridiculous for him. But yeah. His brother Chris has become a rock music record producer. Manager credited with helping bring The Who to performance during the 1960s. Launched the careers of Jimi Hendrix and co-founding Track Records. In 1984, the band The Smiths released their first single, What Difference Does It Make? The single covers with a photograph taken on the set of the film The Collector, but not displayed in the film. Originally, Stamp refused permission for the still to be used. But some pressings feature lead singer Morsby in the revamp C. In the enchantment, Morsby is holding a glass of milk and opposed in quote form part of the original. Eventually, Stamp changed his mind and the original cover was restandied. He died. Stamp passed away on August 17th, 2025. He was 87 years old. Filmmaker Edgar Wright, who directed his the final streaming film Last Night in Charlotte 2021, wrote part. Terrence was kind, funny, and mostly fascinating. I love romancing about his films. Going back to his debut with Billy Budd, Terrence was a good, true movie star. The camera loved him, and he loved to write back. Helpers were paid tribute included Guy Peretz, Gail Ann Hurd, Lou Diamond Phillips, Michael McKean, Billy Idol, and Stephen Elliott. Now let's move to the moment side special regards to not one, not two, but 4 dev topics right now. Thank you. Recipes is 4 people. Now, before we go, I have some statements regarding some honest opinions about this one last thing. Okay, that is of course his retirement from YouTube, Remix Prom. Now, I'm sorry, but this has to be stopped. Okay, what I'm searching here, Remix Prom here, is that this has got to stop. Okay, I want him to stay out of retirement from YouTube. Because I want him to be, get back to what he was doing, and that is YouTube work. What he was saying here is that I'm concerned to retire from good from YouTube, which is stupid. I'm no longer be making videos and powers of the show that I wanted to be done here on BBT with scrap altogether. Now, I'm sorry, but this has had to be stopped. I want him out of retirement since 2010. He's doing YouTube, and I want him to still do YouTube. For the beginning. But also I stream Microsoft's freeway stream that includes the following, and that's not gonna happen. So, and because that's, so again, I plan to not upload any more content here on the channel after this. There's a lot of issues and support. It was, anyway. Anyways, yeah, I know, but, I have some statements regarding to this. I'm sorry, but it needs to be stopped. I talked about this earlier this week, or that week that made some announcements, okay? And this had to be said, okay? I talked about this on my announcement, in my main announcement channel, saying this. Coming this mid-September 2025, I'll be bringing you got some news to share with you. You will never forget. Now, I talked about this 5 days ago, okay? And it says, P.S. It'll get remix Plum out of retirement from YouTube. He will escape from New York. Stand by. Now, what I said about that, well, I want him out of New York. So bad. So, if you watch the remix, I want you to still get back to YouTube, okay? So, that's all I'm saying for now. And get back to being what you're doing is creative consult on YouTube. That's what you're gonna do. And that's as a filmmaker and myself and everything like that. But anyway, and a gamer, you're supposed to be doing games and everything. That's just me. And all that good stuff. But anyways, guys, that was this Crazy Bunch web shows number 120. Hope you enjoyed. Sounds gonna be another brand new episode of Crazy Bunch web show. I'm not sure what's gonna be as of yet, but we'll see what happens. Now, my excuse me, I'm gonna edit this episode, and I gotta get ready for make 2 more projects. One of which had to do with I don't know what to do next, but I think okay. One which had to do with the LGB special event, and the other one had to be a special LGBT special event. So not LGBT special event, but a thing that was supposed to be get ready to air on Wednesday. Be look out for it. It's gonna be a huge one. Till next time, so just by baby, women, Susan out. See ya.